ball. See how much little... Hey, you're back. As I was saying, let's do big and little, taking up lots of space, twist around, and then condensing down into a little ball, curling everything up. See if we can get real small and then get big. Spreading the fingers out, the toes out, spinning the arms and legs around, seeing how much room you can take up, and then again back to small, condensed, nice small ball. You can fit in a little box. One more time. Expanding. Taking up space. Maybe make some loud noise. And then coming back down to stillness. Small ball. Rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking everything in. I'm going to come back up to standing. Shake that off a bit. Let's take a couple deep breaths and just bring my attention into the bottoms of my feet, rooting myself into the center of the earth. Checking that I'm not locking those knees or crunching up in the shoulders. And I'm going to take a nice slow roll down. Just checking in with the spine all the way. Coming past the waist to hang from the hips. Hanging here for a breath or so. I'm going to come up with the left elbow over right for a nice self-hug, pulling back in the abdomen, up in the pelvic floor, rounding the spine, tucking the chin, giving those shoulders a nice squeeze, and then relaxing all of that again from the hips, all the way down toward the floor, and up one more time, this time right elbow over left, pulling up in the pelvic floor, back in the abdomen, squeezing those shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Releasing all of that again from the hips. I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back, come into a bit of a counter stretch, pushing those hips forward, lifting the chest and the eyes. Coming back to neutral. It's getting a little bit warmed up in here. It's looking like the sunshine is back around here. Happy to say. I'm going to go ahead and get into some lunges. Stepping back with the left foot. Squaring these hips by pulling the back hip forward and forward hip back. Pushing into that back heel. Checking that this front knee is not crunching past the toes. Tucking the tailbone under a little. Looking for a nice, long, strong line through the core, supported by the spine and the abdomen. I'm going to bring arms up, making sure not to crunch up in those shoulders, and then push onto that diagonal. Just feeling for a nice long line, out the heel, through the spine, out the fingertips. And then I'm going to swing this back heel onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips now. Swinging this knee out, this hip out. Checking out the side plane. Got my new bicycle keys in my pocket. I just realized. Bicycle. My mom bought me an electric bike. It's pretty exciting. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. So crunching from the hip, bending into a nice side twisting triangle, using my right arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Bringing that left arm up to gaze past fingertips, getting a nice twist through the rib cage, through the spine. Let's give everybody a nice hug, increasing that twist, reaching for this thigh around the back, gazing past that long leg, or up to the ceiling. I like to notice how that feels a little different. Each of those, shifting my focus out past the long leg or up to the ceiling. Let's unwind all of that, bringing this hand down on the inside of that right leg for a nice deep lunge, and then bringing this foot back to meet the back foot, pressing into a downward facing dog, pressing the heart toward the center of the earth, pressing through the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into those knees. Bend the right knee and press into the left heel, bend the left knee, press into the right, and pressing into the left and then the right, and then both heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. I'm going to swing the body forward, lifting the chest and the eyes, keeping those legs together. Give the tongue a nice stretch. Like to rock on the toes sometimes. Kind of vary that stretch up. And then lifting those hips again, pushing back through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone, pressing into those heels. I'm going to swing this left foot forward in between the hands for a nice deep lunge. Let's enjoy that for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and straighten that front leg, folding the body over that leg, and then we'll slide that front heel forward into a splits-ish position, using my hands on either side of the body to rock back and forth a little bit. Just kind of explore that front leg stretch, back leg stretch. And then bending that front knee, pulling that front leg back, stepping onto it, pulling the back leg back. Hanging in forward fold for a breath or so. Shake the neck out. Shake the shoulders out. And I'm going to roll back up, stacking one vertebra on the next. Just checking in with everybody. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Shake that out, go the other way. Shake that out some more. And stepping back with the right foot. Pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back, tipping the tailbone under. Pressing into that back heel. Looking for a nice long and strong line through the core, supported by the spine and the abdomen. Making sure this front knee isn't crunching past the toes. Pressing into that back heel. I'm going to raise the arms, lower the shoulders, and then push onto that diagonal line. Looking for a nice, long, strong line out the heel, through the spine, out the fingertips. And then opening the hip, shifting that back heel onto the perpendicular line. Swinging this knee outward, this hip open. Bending from the hip again into that side twisting triangle, this time left arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Lifting the right arm, gazing past those fingertips. Giving everybody a nice hug and bringing this arm around for an additional twist. Reaching for that opposite thigh. And let's explore gazing past that long leg, gazing up to the ceiling, giving all those organs a nice gentle hug, gazing again past the long leg, or up to the ceiling. One more time. Down the leg, up the ceiling, and then unwinding all that, bringing my hand down on the inside of that left leg. Bring weight onto the hands. I'm going to bring that front foot back to meet the back foot. Pressing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone. Pressing into those heels. I'm going to scooch over just a little bit so I can lift that left heel, keeping the hip facing down toward the ground. as opposed to opening the hip, trying to keep that hip closed. Pressing up through that leg. I'm going to go ahead and open that hip, letting that leg fall to the opposite side. Let's do a little ankle rotation there. And the other way. I still find that challenging. Closing the hip again. Pressing up through that leg. I'm hitting dome up there. Let's bring that leg back down. Setting down the left leg, lifting the right leg, pressing up through the spine, through that long leg, keeping the hip closed at first. Feeling for that long line, through the arms, through the spine, out the toes, and then opening the hip, letting that foot fall to the side. Let's do some ankle rotation on that side. And the other way. Close that hip and pressing up into that foot again. Looking for that long line through the spine. And setting that back down. Pressing the heart toward the earth. Swing the body forward again, keeping these legs together. And lifting the chest. Lifting the eyes. Letting the belly just relax. Keeping those legs together. Rock a little bit on those back toes. And then lifting the hips, pressing again through the palms, through the spine, into those heels. I'm going to step forward with this right foot in between hands. And then straightening that leg, folding the body over that leg, and sliding that leg out for a splits-ish. Gotta do win. Thank you for the love. I do appreciate it. Good to see you out there. I hope your day is going exactly the way you planned, or at least some kind of way that's enjoyable. How often do the days go exactly as we plan? Some of the time. I'm going to bring my weight onto the right foot and bring this left knee up toward left shoulder. Enjoy a little more ankle rotation. Reaching for the bottom of that foot, and I stretch through the shoulders, and then pulling back in the shoulders, dropping the shoulders, still tucking the tailbone under, relaxing that supporting side. Let's explore a little front fold with that leg, and then releasing that, bringing it to the side. Woo! Try not to fall over. It's funny how our focus has so much to do with balance. I'm going to bring this out to the side a little bit more, just exploring that hip socket a little. And then try to keep my balance while I set this foot on the supporting side. Swinging this knee out, tucking the tailbone under, relaxing the shoulders. Just enjoying a nice moment of calm. Imagining myself a rainbow-colored tree. On a middle-aged mountain. I'm going to release all of that. Shake it out a little bit. Bring my weight over to the left. Bring this right knee up toward right shoulder, relaxing the shoulders. Tucking the tailbone under, relaxing that supporting knee. Foot. Giving a little ankle rotation on that side, and then reaching for the bottom of that foot. I enjoy a nice stretch through the backs of the shoulders, and then pulling down and back with those shoulders. Still tucking the tailbone under, relaxing that supporting side, and bringing that leg out for a forward fold in the air. a breath or so to try to relax, and then bringing it out to the right. Exploring that hip socket a little bit in this direction. And then bending that leg. I'm going to set that on the supporting side. Swinging this knee out, tucking the tailbone under, relaxing the shoulders. And again, enjoying a moment of release, of relaxation, of calm. Releasing all of that. Let's do some hand circles on the wrist, just checking in with the little bones. Go the other way. Shake that out. Let's do some, make sure this start at a straddle and do hip dips. Getting a nice stretch on the inner thigh. Dipping on the right. In on the left. Walking those feet back under the hips. And let's keep weight on both feet. Slide those hips over to the left and over to the right. Trying to keep these hip bones relatively parallel to the floor. Getting a nice stretch through the torso there. I feel that. And then let's move that into the hip socket to the side. Do be mindful and respectful of your own hips. It's a ball and socket joint there, but it's good to keep it limber and stretched out. Pushing into the right. And one more time into the left. And into the right. Give a nice wiggle jiggle. I'm going to do just a little more arm stretching. Bringing this left arm across the body, dropping the shoulder, tipping the head away from the shoulder. Bringing the right arm across the body, dropping the shoulder, tipping the head away. Let's do that a couple more times. Bringing the left arm across the body, dropping that shoulder. And right arm, dropping the shoulder, tilting the head. More time to the left and to the right. I'm going to bring hands behind the body, clasping palms, rolling shoulder blades together, rolling elbows towards each other. And do a counter stretch first, pulling down with those fingertips. And then coming forward, pushing through the feet, bending from the hips. Bring those hands with me. All the way down for a nice stretch. Through the shoulders, through the spine. Just going to trace my triceratops back line here. Whew. We got a lot of tension in there. So it almost feels good. Bring that over to the left. Whew. And over to the right. How about again to the left. And again to the right. One more time, pressing palms. Rolling shoulder blades towards each other. Really trying to release in the belly, release in the back. Let's turn that into a passive stretch. Relaxing the arms. Letting the elbows fall away from each other and bringing the hands down to the tailbone. Give the body just a little check through the back of the low back, the butt, the hamstrings, backs of the knees, backs of calves. Just checking in with the ankles. Let's come around front, check in with the toes, fronts of ankles, shins. Giving the knees a little love, coming up the fronts of the thighs, checking in with the pelvis, around the torso, Give it a little drum check. Checking in with the chest. And smooth down each arm. Just bringing the whole body together. Rubbing the hands, rub up the face and down the back of the hair. I like to sometimes pull on the hair for a little neck adjustment. You do what feels good for you. Just bringing all the body together. To give one more jiggle wiggle, let go of stress. I hope you're doing whatever feels good in your body. Remembering to take care of your body so it can help take care of you. Be nice to yourself so that you can be nice to others too. I was trying to think of what day it is. I think I know what day it is. It's Thursday where I am. I don't know what day it is where you are, whenever you're seeing this, but I hope it's a good one, whatever day it is for you. It's good to see you. Let me know if there's something I can do to help you in the future. Happy to consider it. And for now, peace.